Hi my lovelies, welcome back to my book file, and today we are going to be talking about the books that I've read in March. Now, let me just get this out there. It's been a shit month, okay? I'm sorry, it's been terrible, horrible in every sense possible. I mean, not really, because it was my birthday this month, but I started books that were disgustingly written. I started books that were... And I didn't actually get around to reading that many books because I was in such a book slump. Let's start with the books that I DNF'd this month. Now, if you guys watched my previous video, you would have known that I had bought 3 of Jasmine Masters' books, Psycho Shifters, Psycho Fae, and Psycho Beast, something along those lines, right? Tell me why I cried. I read the first page and I was like, oh no. Whoever recommended me this book series, I'm coming for you. And I'm so sorry to Jasmine Masters, I just did not like the writing. It felt so repetitive, it felt so juvenile, might I add. I just did not like it, like I couldn't get into it. You know when you read the first page and you're like, oh shit, I'm not gonna enjoy this book. That was me, because I was reading it and I was like, there is no way the writing is gonna continue to be like this. What I did was I skimmed through books 1, 2, and 3. I kind of spoiled it for myself because there was no way I was gonna read all of that. Like, was it good? Sure. In a Wattpad kind of way. Like, I'm sorry, it just wasn't for me. And I was so disappointed because I had seen the reels of Psycho Shifters everywhere. And do you know what happened? Do you know what I did? I couldn't even show you the books right now because I sent them back, darling, okay? I sent the books back. That's how bad I wanted to get rid of them. I needed my money back. And you know, it's a crime in the book community to send a book back. Well, it is to me anyway. Listen, cost of living crisis is high, and let's just leave it at that. The second book that I DNF'd was The River of Rain duet by CC Ritchie. It was going great. This was my first romance book, and I was so excited to get into it. I was just like, yeah, this is gonna be great. Like, I'm in my era, I love it, right? Now, it was way better writing than Psycho Shifters, for sure, like way better writing. I didn't really like the insta-lust. I didn't really like the abusive relationship the MMC was in. Listen, I read dark romance for a living, okay? I can read pretty much anything depraved, but for some reason, I couldn't get myself to like the MMC. And that was a big problem for me because normally when you're reading a dark romance and you're reading about this morally grey character, you're captivated by some way or another, right? The love interest just wasn't giving that to me, and I found him so problematic, not even a good way. I don't mean to be mean, but I just couldn't get into the books. Now, books that I did read this month, there's not many because honestly, after the terrible start we had this month, I was in the longest book slump ever. The first book I picked up was The Wall of Winnipeg and Me. Marina Zapata is one of my favorite authors. Like, I love her so much. The way she writes, she had me giggling, she had me squealing and shit. Enemies to Lovers, Workplace Romance, Marriage of Convenience. You know when they're in a marriage of convenience and the relationship is fake dating, right? And you get to scenes when he's like, get a coffee for my girl. Mind how you speak about my wife? That's my girl. Stop. I'll be honest with you guys, spicy chapter, literally the last chapter, but it was good. It was, you know, it was ear tuck. This book for me was a 4 out of 5 for sure. The next book that I read was Shallow River by H.G. Carlton. I gave this book a 4 out of 5. Listen, this sated my dark mind. Like, I love this book. First of all, many trigger warnings. If you have triggers, please, for the love of God, do not read this book. Without giving too much away, we have River, who is in a relationship with a man named Ryan, and Ryan is somewhat of an arsehole. She is in a sort of abusive relationship with this man, and when I mean abusive, I mean abusive. Please check the trigger warnings. This is a very dark book. If I'm being honest with you, this was probably described in a darker way than H.G. Carlton's Cat and Mouse duet, if I'm being honest. Like, it follows the relationship between Ryan and River, and then enter the mysterious Molly Gray MMC, who is Ryan's older brother. It's forbidden romance, enemies to lovers, and the thing that I loved about this book is Mako, who is Ryan's brother, kind of gave Zayd vibes, but consensual. This man, Mako, Lord, this man has me in a chokehold. He's added to my book boyfriends list. Guys, he is so sexy. And you know what? It's rare to read consent in dark romance books. So that had me in a, like, I was in whiplash. I was like, oh, okay. I love this book. I love H.G. Carlson in general, and I'm so glad that I read this one. The third book that I read this month was Skin of a Sinner by Avina St. Graves. I was a bit disappointed with this one, I'm not gonna lie to you. I did finish it, I did enjoy it, but I'm gonna rank this like a 3.7, 3.8, purely because when you first open the book, there's like a massive list of triggers, yeah? Massive list. It had me talking. I was like, oh yeah, I'm ready, let's go, I'm ready. Babes, where is the dark romance? Where is it? Because I couldn't see it. Of course, there were some things. It's either this book didn't have any dark romance or I read too much dark romance to see the triggers, you know? But I think it's the former, darling. I just couldn't really find the darkness that I wanted in this book, and I don't know if I need therapy for that, probably do. So I did enjoy this book. I do love Roman, his like possessiveness, I genuinely do, but it wasn't really for me. Now, the last book that I read this month was Tastes Like Shakar by Nisha Sharma. I love this book. This book for me is a 4 out of 5, 100%. I love reading about ethnic communities. I ate this shit up. I love the romance between Bobby and Benjamin. I love the enemies to lovers, forced proximity. It's spicy, darling. And it's like a best friend's fiance's best friend situation going on. They have to work together to, you know, plan their wedding. And in between there's like a lot of songs. Don't be fooled by this cover, guys. This book was kinky. I was like, oh. It was just lovely to read about. It was funny. It's a great rom-com. I cannot wait for the third book in this series. This was definitely a 4 out of 5 for me. And that is pretty much all the books that I read this month. That concludes my March reading wrap up. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and hopefully I have a better April monthly wrap up. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.